Well, actually, you know what? All right, that's more like it. Well, here it is. It is basically the nicest F-16 controller money can possibly buy, unless you're some little kid in Oklahoma who has a real one and just likes to flex on all of us. Okay, so this is the Invictus Cockpit Systems VFS with his custom, I guess you could call it custom, but it's not really custom at all since they're mass produced for the military. It is a 1-to-1 scale replica of a side stick controller base. And then, of course, I've got my favorite T and Hang stick attached to it because I love me some T and Hang. So, yeah, so we're going to do a review of this. This is, God, it's a real piece of work. I guess I should start out with, the bourbon. So today I am drinking Heaven Hill Decadent Series 10-year, I think. I'll have to go and look at the bottle again. But it's actually pretty good. My first bottle of Heaven Hill I wasn't too impressed with, but it was a half rye, half regular bourbon, and so that's not exactly the best kind of thing. But anyway, this one's pretty good, so recommend it. Get you a bottle if you can find it. It wasn't too terribly expensive, I think. But all right, I don't even know where to fucking start with this thing. God, I just want to sit here and stare at it. Like, it's just so beautiful. God, I just, whew. All right, I guess what I should start with is, what is my relationship with Invictus Cockpit Systems? Well, I know the owner. His name's Chris. He's a great guy. Know him personally. He knows me personally. But I did pay full price for this. I did not get any sort of discount or special treatment. At least I don't think so. When I first got it, he sent me a replacement, one of these, because mine was angled a little crooked. So I've got a replacement for it. Shipping the old one back. But other than that, this is not a review sample. This is not a special copy just for me. I don't have any discount codes for you or anything like that. This is straight up just me reviewing the product as a human being who loves fighter jets. So, first things first. This piece, the actual housing for the side stick controller and the actual sensor transducer are two different things. This is a VFS, is what he calls it on his website. There'll be links to all this crap, by the way. A VFS, and it has the actual force transducers in it. And funny story behind that, I don't remember the exact wording he used, but I'm pretty sure when he got the actual force sensors for this, he had to sign a thing saying he wouldn't sell them outside the United States. So I'm not saying they're real F-16 force transducers, but they're real F-16 transducers. Chris, I'm sorry if that gets you in trouble. You can buy this as a complete package now on his website. I recommend you do, unless you have some sort of custom housing already, or you have a real side stick controller or something. I don't know what you've got. But you will need to go ahead and get your hands on a HOTAS Cougar control board and harvest it, because this bolts up to the HOTAS Cougar control board, which is, a little annoying, but it kind of comes to the territory now for simulators. So Chris is also working on a standalone board himself that eventually will just get rid of the need for one of these control boards anymore, and it'll just bolt right up and you'll just plug in out of the box and you'll be happy. Configuring it is not exactly the easiest thing. Well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it, shall we? So, is it good? Yeah, it's good. It's really good. So this is the old crappy HOTAS Cougar software, which is a fucking nightmare, but I am pulling on it with one finger here. That's literally just me, one finger pulling on it. It's very, very, very sensitive. And I'm moving it around now hardly at all with my hand like that. Now, I don't have this plugged into my simulator right now, and so I've got it clamped to my desk. So it gives a little, like, in the actual whole unit of my desk is moving, see my bourbon shaking there. So take that for the grain of salt. It's not the VFS, it's me, it's my shitty setup here. But the stick displacement, it comes with a ring in here so you can have movement if you want, and it still doesn't move quite as much as I would like it to, honestly. And so I'm going to experiment, I think, with 3D printing a ring here to maybe give it a little bit more flex so it functions more similar to the Ultra. But I will report back with that. I might design my own custom STL file. If I do, I'll be sure to link the file and I'll make a new video for it. I don't worry about that shit. So anyway, I've just got DCS going here. So yeah, I'm hardly moving the stick at all, and it goes, man. It's beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. I really love it. I'm hardly exerting any force at all here, and so tiny little movements, you can just, God, I love this. But if I get in the cockpit here, you can see that the stick actually deflects a little bit more in the cockpit than it does here in real life. So I would like the stick to move a little bit more, but that's not a big deal. But I mean, just like, look at the actual model itself. It's like, it's a little uncanny almost. I mean, the little collar, you need to get a collar to cover this up, which you can just 3D print that, whatever. But other than that, man, it's downright perfect. It's freaking beautiful. Just get one. If you're serious about F-16 simulation, get one. There's really no reason not to get one. Now, my friend Jackson actually got his hands on a real actual F-16 stick and a real side stick controller off an A model, so it's completely rigid and doesn't move. And he was kind enough to make some videos for me, so I'll link those now.
So once I had got it all wired up, just ran a calibration till the physical stops, moved it all around, circles and everything. Once you did that, it's basically good to go. So I'll go in the sim, you can see, or in the windows, you can see it moves very nicely. 17, 17, 31, 31. You can kind of hear me there. It takes quite a bit of muscle to move, and if your arm's gonna be sore after a lot of flying with it, and for a while till you get used to it. But we can do a real quick simulation here and show you how it works. It's very, very smooth. I've had ripsticks, all sorts of professional options from other simulation manufacturers, and aerial refueling, formation, and just flying in general has never been easier until I got this real stick. So of course it was made to do its job. So let's turn this volume down. Falcon BMS 4.37. So let me get a good angle here. It's gonna be hard to do. Functions in the sim very nicely. Super fun to use, and it's also super fun to look at. That's basically it.
Oh, one last thing to note, there's two small little holes right here, because if you have a tiny little screwdriver that can get in there, you can actually adjust the setting, because you can see right now I've got a small little bit of displacement there. It shouldn't be there. And that's from me calibrating it with these screws undone and then sticking it back in. So tomorrow I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy the thinnest screwdriver I possibly can, because the ones I have are not going to cut it. But you can actually adjust the trim, the center position from while the stick is still attached. You don't have to completely undo it. I'm building a new F-16 cockpit, and this is for sure going to be the crown jewel centerpiece of that cockpit. God, it's gorgeous. I just want to sit here and stare at it. It's something. I'm actually really sad to take it down. Oh, I guess one other thing I should talk about that Jackson reminded me of. Thank you for this, Jackson. And if you're watching this video, this is super important. Fuck it, we'll do it live. So we can't because I need two hands for it. Well, what it's going to ask you to calibrate, it's going to say leave the joystick centered and press next. So you press next. Then it's going to say move the y-axis all the way forward. So what you have to do is move the y-axis forward, and then while you're holding it forward, click next while holding it forward. And then you can let it go, and it'll say move it back. You move it back, click next while you're holding it back, and move on like that. It's not like a regular calibration, and if you don't understand that, it doesn't exactly tell you that. It might get a little tricky to understand, and it actually screwed me up a couple of times. So yeah, other than that, I mean, the HOTAS Cougar stick will bolt right up. HOTAS Warthog will bolt right up, and the Tianhang will bolt right up. As you can see, there's the trigger. It works just fine. All the buttons work fine. not really a big deal. It does work. So I don't know how clicky the T and hang is, man. But yeah, thing of beauty. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. I'm working on making as many ejection handles as I can right now because I've started mass producing those. So there'll be a video coming on that soon. I've got other great things in the work too that you just will not even believe I have going on. But yeah, there's not really much else I can say about this. I don't give a fuck if you like or subscribe. Thank you for watching my videos, and hopefully I'll have a video where I actually fucking fly something soon. I hope. Anyway, Chris, great job, man. I cannot believe what an absolute masterpiece this is. Fantastic work. Chris of Invictus Cockpit Systems, everyone, man. Give him a hand. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.